What if I told you that the greatest mistake a man can make is lowering himself to beg for the very things he has the power to create? What if I told you that chasing after people, circumstances, or opportunities that were never meant for you is the fastest way to lose your dignity, your time, and your vision? These are not just moral lessons. They are the foundations of self-mastery, the building blocks of power, and the very principles that separate the weak from the strong, the ordinary from the extraordinary. Life has a way of testing you not by what it gives, but by what it withholds. And in those moments of lack, many lose themselves. They stretch out their hands to beg, forgetting that their true wealth is within. They chase after what runs away, forgetting that no man was ever born to pursue shadows. Never beg for what you can create. This is not a simple line of advice. It is a call to awaken the Creator inside you. Every time you beg, you declare to the world and to yourself that you are powerless, that you are dependent, that you have no control over your destiny. But is that the truth? Absolutely not. Look around at the great men of history, at those who left their mark on the world. Did they beg for opportunity? Did they sit idle, hoping that someone else would bless them with greatness? No. They built, they created, they demanded results from themselves, not favors from others. The man who begs tells life, I cannot. The man who creates tells life, I will. And life, like a mirror, reflects the truth you speak. When you create, you step into the role of master. You no longer need to convince others of your worth. They will see it. You no longer need to plead for resources. They will come to you. The farmer does not beg the earth for food. He plants the seed, waters it, and trusts the laws of nature. The earth responds not to his begging, but to his action. And so it is with you. The universe does not respond to empty hands extended in desperation. It responds to hands busy in work, in faith, in creation. Every moment you spend begging, you lose twice. You lose your time and you lose your power. But every moment you spend creating, you win twice. You build your dream, and you build yourself. Think about it. The man who begs today must beg again tomorrow. His hunger is never satisfied because he has placed his survival in someone else's hands. But the man who creates today builds a foundation that feeds him tomorrow and forever. Never beg, because to beg is to forget that you are the source, not the seeker. You are the fountain, not the empty cup. Creation is your duty, your privilege, and your proof that you are alive. And then comes the second law. Never chase what isn't aligned with your purpose. Chasing is another form of begging, only disguised in movement. It is the act of running after what was never meant to stay. How many people waste their lives chasing love that doesn't want them, chasing opportunities that don't fit them, chasing validation from those who will never give it? They run and run, exhausting themselves, only to find that the thing they chased was not the treasure, but a chain. Why should you chase what is running away when life is designed to deliver to you what belongs to you? The truth is simple. What is aligned with you will flow towards you, not away. Success, wealth, relationships, opportunities, they are not things to run after. They are things to attract. You attract them by becoming worthy of them, by building the strength, the skill, and the vision that draws them in naturally. Just as a flame draws the moth without moving, so too does greatness attract all it needs. The one who chases admits that he is incomplete. The one who stands in his power, firm and unshaken, proves that he is whole, and the world cannot resist wholeness. Do you not see how chasing robs you of your dignity? To chase is to announce to the world that your worth depends on something outside you. What if I told you that the time you spend explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you is the very time you could be using to rise above them? What if I told you that every ounce of energy wasted on convincing the unwilling is an ounce stolen from the building of your dream? Life has a strange way of surrounding you with people who cannot see what you see, who cannot believe what you believe, who cannot imagine what you imagine. And yet too many fall into the trap of trying to make them understand. They explain, they defend, they justify, only to find that no amount of words can open ears that are closed or eyes that are blind. Never explain to those who refuse to understand, because explanation is not the key to awakening. Experience is. Consider the builder who lays the foundation of a tower. He is ridiculed by onlookers who laugh, who whisper, who mock his effort. If he stops to explain, to argue, to persuade, he wastes precious hours that should be spent stacking stone upon stone. But if he continues silently, steadily, without defense, the tower will rise. And when it touches the sky, no explanation is needed. The work itself becomes the answer. In life, your results are the only language that matters. People may question you, doubt you, misunderstand you. But when you achieve what they thought impossible, their doubts become meaningless. Do not explain, produce. Do not defend, demonstrate. Do not waste time convincing, spend time creating. Every man or woman who has walked the path of greatness faced opposition. They were doubted, mocked, even hated. Yet none of them won their battles with words. They won with action, with proof, with results that silenced every critic. To explain is to play on the enemy's field. To create is to build your own. When you stop explaining, you reclaim your focus. You stop scattering your power into endless arguments and begin channeling it into your vision. Let your life be your answer. Let your success be your proof. Let your silence be louder than all their noise. And this brings us to the next principle. Focus your energy on building, not convincing. Here lies the dividing line between the dreamers who speak and the dreamers who achieve. Too many lose themselves in the endless pursuit of approval. They want to be understood, to be accepted, to be praised. They spend hours trying to prove their worth to others, forgetting that their worth is never decided by others. It is decided by themselves. Convincing people is like pouring water into a basket. No matter how much you pour, it leaks out and you remain empty. Building, however, is like pouring water into a vessel. It holds, it grows, it multiplies. Ask yourself, would you rather have people convinced by your words or transformed by your example? The world is already filled with voices, with noise, with explanations. But it starves for builders, for doers, for men and women who don't just talk about change, but embody it. Every moment you invest in convincing someone of your path is a moment stolen from actually walking it. You cannot climb a mountain while trying to persuade the crowd at the bottom why you should climb. The climb itself is the proof. The summit itself is the explanation. Focus on building because building endures. Words are forgotten, debates are erased, but what you build remains. Think of the inventions, the movements, the legacies that shaped history. None of them were born from convincing others with words. They were born from action. They were born from those who poured themselves into their work so completely that the world could not ignore it. You don't need to convince people of your vision. Build it and let its reality force them to see. You don't need to justify your dreams. Achieve them and let their presence silence every doubt. The mind that is focused on convincing becomes reactive. It waits for others' approval. It shapes itself according to their resistance. What if I told you that everything you will ever become, everything you will ever achieve, everything you will ever hold in your hands begins first as a simple desire? What if I told you that the seed of greatness is not luck, not talent, not circumstance, but desire, burning so deeply in your heart that it refuses to let you rest until it is fulfilled? Too often, people look at success as something external, something handed down by chance, by family, by fate. But the truth is different. The truth is that every empire, every invention, every discovery, every masterpiece was born first in the secret fire of human desire. Desire is the seed of all achievement. Without desire, there is no movement. Without desire, there is no courage. Without desire, there is no reason to endure the storms, the setbacks, the failures that inevitably come on the path to greatness. Desire is the spark that awakens the mind, the fuel that drives the body, the compass that guides the spirit. A man without desire is like a ship without wind, motionless, drifting, useless. But a man with burning desire cannot be stopped. Obstacles only sharpen him. Failures only strengthen him. Time only proves him. Think of the greatest creators, the boldest leaders, the visionaries who shaped history. Did they not begin with a desire so fierce it looked like madness to others? The world laughed at them, doubted them, resisted them, but desire made them relentless. Desire gave them the strength to persist when reason said stop, to try again when everything was lost, to move mountains because they refused to settle at the bottom. Desire is not a wish, it is not a weak hope. It is a demand upon life, a command to reality, a refusal to accept anything less than the vision burning within you. But here lies the secret. Desire alone is not enough. It is the seed, yes, but a seed that is never planted, never watered. Never nurtured will rot in the hand. How many people live with secret desires buried inside them, never acted upon, never brought to life? They die with their music still unplayed, their stories unwritten, their greatness unexpressed. Desire must be translated into action, into persistence, into discipline. It is the starting point, but not the destination. And this leads us to the next principle. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. Every man dreams, but not every man arrives. Every woman desires, but not every woman fulfills. Why? Because dreams are easy, but discipline is hard. Desire gives you the fire, but discipline gives you the structure. Desire makes you start, but discipline makes you continue when the fire flickers low. Desire whispers, someday, but discipline says today, now, without excuse. Discipline is the quiet, often invisible force that carries your desire across the raging river of reality. It is the bridge that connects what you see in your mind to what you hold in your hands. Without discipline, desire remains a fantasy, a beautiful picture never lived. With discipline, desire becomes destiny. The athlete desires victory, but it is discipline that wakes him before dawn, drives him to train when tired, makes him repeat the same drill 1,000 times until mastery is born. The artist desires expression, but it is discipline that forces him to sit at the canvas day after day, through frustration, through doubt, until the masterpiece emerges. The entrepreneur desires wealth, but it is discipline that makes him push through failure after failure, refining, improving, persisting, until success is inevitable. Discipline is not glamorous. It does not shout. It does not sparkle. It does not intoxicate. It is slow, repetitive, even painful, and yet it is the most powerful ally of desire. For discipline takes the fire of desire and channels it into consistent action. It builds momentum. It carves habits. It forges character. Discipline is desire in motion, desire made real through repetition. Without discipline, desire is a firework, bright for a moment, then gone. With discipline, desire is a rising sun, steady, unstoppable, illuminating everything in its path. Understand this: the gap between those who dream and those who achieve is discipline. Everyone desires success, but few are willing to pay its price. Everyone wants freedom, wealth, recognition, love, but how many are willing to sacrifice comfort, to endure boredom, to embrace struggle? Desire is cheap, discipline is expensive, and yet it is only discipline, that buys the ticket to the life you want. So ask yourself, what is my desire? What is the seed planted deep in my heart? And then ask, am I watering it with discipline, or am I letting it wither in neglect? The man who desires but does not discipline deceives himself. He will spend his life dreaming of tomorrow while wasting today. But the man who desires and disciplines will see his dream unfold, step by step, until one day he wakes to find that what once lived only in his imagination now stands solid before him. Never forget, desire begins the journey, but discipline finishes it. Desire gives you the vision, but discipline builds the road. Desire fuels your passion, but discipline proves your worth. One without the other is incomplete. Together, they are unstoppable. Desire is the seed of all achievement. Discipline is the bridge that brings it to life. The world is full of dreamers, but empty of finishers. Do not be content to dream. Desire with fire, disciple, iron with iron, and watch how your reality bends to your will. Because in the end, life does not reward those who wish, but those who work. And the combination of burning desire and unbreakable discipline makes you unstoppable, undeniable, unforgettable. What if I told you that the difference between a man who merely hopes for success and the man who achieves it lies in a single decision? A decision to demand it from himself, not to wait for it from the world? What if I told you that the key to unlocking everything you want is not in chance, not in luck, not in waiting, but in commanding yourself to rise higher, to give more, to push further? Success does not come to the one who sits with folded arms, waiting for the universe to deliver. It comes to the one who stands, who declares, who demands, I will not stop until I have it. I will not rest until it is mine. Success comes to those who demand it from themselves. This is not arrogance, it is responsibility. Too many people beg success to come, as though it were a favor owed. Too many people pray for it while doing nothing to prepare for it. But the truth is this: success owes you nothing. The world owes you nothing. Life owes you nothing. If you want it, you must demand it. From yourself. You must decide that failure is not an option, that excuses will not be entertained, that mediocrity will not be tolerated. Demanding success from yourself means raising your standards. It means no longer accepting laziness, distraction, or half-hearted effort. It means holding yourself accountable when no one is watching. It means turning your desire into discipline and your discipline into results. The man who demands success from himself does not wait for inspiration. He creates it. He does not wait for opportunity. He builds it. He does not wait for permission. He takes it.